So again, these are 3 steps that you can start taking today to actually work towards financial freedom and then eventually build long-term wealth. And these are action steps that at their core can really change the way your wealth building strategy is. So I kind of want to start off by giving a little bit of information about myself. My name is Mike, and the reason I got into financial coaching to begin with is because I have seen time and time again people who earn a very good income struggle to get their wealth building plan in place. The thing is, when it comes to managing your money, when it comes to finances and investing, they don't teach this type of stuff in schools. There's not a formal education program that teaches you how to manage your money, the right investment structures to put your money into, what are the right financial products even for you. And a lot of times people enter the workforce after that, and then the only source of information that they get towards their finances and how they should handle their money comes from a financial professional, like a financial advisor. Now, herein the problem is that these individuals only focus on one aspect of wealth, and that is growing your portfolio. And a lot of times they represent a conflict of interest in the industry because they get compensated based on what products you invest with them, right? So who is really giving the financial education to people in order for them to be empowered and make the right decisions with their money? Well, that's where the financial coach comes in. And that's where I have been inspired to take this sort of angle because it allows me to give the financial information without having any conflict of interest. Now, currently, I've just finished a financial coaching program that it is designed to literally take someone, go through their entire financial situation, and put them on a step-by-step path towards financial freedom. So what you're going to learn today in this presentation are the 3 core fundamental principles that I use in my coaching program to help my clients achieve financial freedom and then go on to build long-term generational wealth. All right, so let's get started. Step 1, all right, the very first step towards financial freedom and then building wealth is understanding your interest rate allocation. Now, what do I mean by that? Are you earning more interest than you are paying? Now, I have a quick little activity for you guys to do. This is a Google Sheet. This Google Sheet can show you whether or not you are earning more interest or paying more interest. All you have to do is click the link. It's a free Google Sheet. You go to File and then Download, and it will allow you to edit the template. And here's how you fill out this sheet. On the left, you're going to notice that it's a category for debt, any type of debt you have, whether it's a car loan, a student loan, your mortgage, credit cards. You want to put that in your left column. In the middle is the interest rate associated with that debt, and in the final column is the balance. So next to that, you will see the interest earned category. So in this section, you'll see investments such as savings, CDs, and any brokerage accounts that you have. There's a section for the interest rate and then the balance. All right, so I urge you to take the time to fill this out because it can really give you some insight into your own personal finances. You see, you can never break the chains of the rat race or achieve financial freedom if you are paying more in interest than you are earning yourself. Okay, so the very first step is to swap the interest you're paying to interest that you are earning. And part of the program that I have is designed specifically to look at your interest rate allocations and to determine whether or not you are putting your money into the right categories so that you can start earning more interest than you are paying. All right, so step two. Step two is asset allocation swapping. So just like the interest rate swapping, where you go from paying interest to earning interest, asset allocation swapping is making sure that you are investing in the right types of assets. So simply put, there are three types of assets. And whether or not you are investing in the right type of asset will determine how long it will take you to reach financial freedom, if ever. And a lot of times people understand this problem because if you retire and are unable to sustain your lifestyle at that point, then you've never reached financial freedom in your life. And that happens to people. So if you invest in the right type of asset, you are a lot more likely to lower the amount of time it takes for you to reach financial freedom. So the first type of asset, and the type of asset that too many of us put too much of our monthly income into, is a non-productive asset. A non-productive asset is an asset that has value, but typically depreciates in value over time. It means it will go down in value, and it does not earn an income. The second type of asset is a limited asset. Now, here's another category of assets where if you're putting too much of your monthly income into, it can greatly slow down your wealth building progress. Now, a limited asset has a value, and it can appreciate in value over time, but it does not produce an income. Now, examples of this type of asset are it could be a piece of land, it could be a piece of art, and even your primary residence. Because although a limited asset can grow in value, oftentimes it can cost money from your monthly cash flow in order for you to keep the asset. So in the case of your primary residence, although it does grow in value, it's taken away from money that you can otherwise be investing in the third type of asset, which is the most powerful type of asset, a productive asset. Now, a productive asset has the ability to not only grow in value itself, but to also produce an income. Now, this allows for compounded growth because the income that is being produced by this asset can continue to invest more into your wealth building model. Now, that's what's really important, because when it comes to financial freedom, you want to get to the point where your productive assets produce enough income to sustain your lifestyle. At that point, you have reached financial freedom. So the coaching program that I'm offering specifically deals with asset allocation, asset swapping, maybe getting out of some of your non-productive and limited assets and putting them into productive assets so that you can increase your passive income and put more into investing until you get to that financial freedom point, right? And it's not just about that, but it's about maximizing how much of your income you can put into the wealth building model. And you do it for a period of time until you get to that financial freedom point. So that was a lot of information, but you have to do step 3 in order to complete your whole process, right? Step 3 is to protect your wealth. And that's a key takeaway, because very wealthy people understand that it's not just about making big gains in the market. It's about keeping those gains after you've earned it and after you've worked hard to create wealth. it is up to you to protect that wealth. So, do you know what your number one asset is? And are you doing everything you can to protect your number one asset? Well, your number one asset is your income, your earned income every month, right? Because that is how you can live the life that you're living. That's how you get your needs met, how you pay for your family's needs. That's how you pay for the lifestyle that you're living, your wants. That's the money that you have every month to put into your future, whether it be education, whether it be your investments. So oftentimes, I'll talk with people about what it is that they picture for their future. So I'm going to ask you for a moment here. Sit and think, what sort of lifestyle would I like to live in 5 years from now? Or 10 years from now? Can you even think as far as maybe 15 or 20 years? What sort of house do you have or car do you drive? What are the activities you would like to be doing? If you can paint a picture in your head, right, can you still have that life if something were to happen to your income? If some sort of disaster happened to your income, would you still be on track to providing that life that you've dreamed of for yourself and for your family? Because a lot of times it comes down to this, and I'm going to show you guys an example that's pretty easy to understand. But this is your wealth building plan and your house, right? Now, if you have a beautiful house that has beautiful rooms and an amazing kitchen and the roof is amazing, yet the foundation isn't very solid, what happens if a disaster strikes and all of a sudden the wind and the rain hit the house? It all comes crashing down, right? So what is a solid foundation? What makes up a solid foundation to protect your number one asset? Boom, right there. At the bottom of your wealth building plan is insurance. Do you have the right type of insurance in place? Whether it be health insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, that could be short-term or long-term disability, because if some sort of catastrophic disaster happens to you, would your income be affected? Would you be able to sustain not only your life, but your wealth building model? See, above that is your emergency fund, which is another part of your foundation, so that if something happens, your monthly income, your normal cash flow can be as little as affected as little as possible, so that you can continue your model. Now, when it comes to insurance, it's something that you pay for and you hope you never need, but you cannot get it once you actually need it. So as far as step number 3 goes, it comes down to insurance and asset protection. Okay? So having the right insurance in place, and then do you have the right LLC or limited liability corporation, corporate structure for the assets that you actually own? Because it's another thing as far as like maybe you're getting into real estate. Do you have the right structure to prevent someone from being able to take other parts of your wealth building model? All right, so let's do a quick recap. 3 steps that you guys can start taking now to reach financial freedom. All right, step 1 is your interest rate allocation swapping. All right, swap from the interest that you are paying to the interest that you are earning. Move your funds from the creating debt and creating a negative compounding interest effect to a positive compounding interest effect from having the right types of investments. Which brings us to step number 2, is investing in the right types of assets. The right type of asset and most powerful type of asset for you to invest in is your productive assets. Productive assets not only grow in value, but produce an income for you. And then the final step is protecting your wealth once you have it. So perhaps you guys are watching this presentation and you're just like, I'm not even sure where to start when it comes to my own finances. Either maybe you make a good amount of money, but you aren't sure where it all goes by the end of the year. You feel like you make a good amount of money, but you don't have anything to show for it. Or perhaps you're living paycheck to paycheck and you sort of feel like you're stuck in the rat race and want to sort of break free from that. Or maybe you have the money management sort of system down, your savings, you can grow your savings, but at that point you're not even sure what to do with it. What do I even invest in? How do I grow my money? How can I make it work for me? All of these sort of buzzwords. Well, I would love to be able to help you guys figure out the next step for you. So I'm offering a free 15-minute strategy session so that we can go over what your number one roadblock is to achieving financial freedom. Wherever you're at on your journey, what is the next step for you? Because everyone's situation is a little bit different, right? And so giving general information can be helpful, but understanding your specific struggle, it allows a lot more insight to give more pointed information that can actually help change your life. So I'm going to put a link in this video. This link is going to take you to a scheduling page. The scheduling page, you can select any time slot that's available, and we can get on a free 15-minute strategy session. If you want more information about my financial coaching program, about the done-for-you financial strategy that's completely personalized to you, and see how that can fit into what your goals are for the future, that is something that we can possibly explore. But really, at the end of this phone call, I would like for you to have more confidence in the direction of your finances and for you to sort of have that next step in mind. The financial coaching program that I'm offering costs money, so it's not for everyone. But either way, I still would love to help you. So perhaps I could put you on the right path, and at a point in the future when the coaching program makes sense to you, perhaps you can come back and try the program. But if not, it doesn't matter. I would love to just be able to help you get control of your finances and start moving forward. Start reaching towards that financial freedom goal and eventually build long-term generational wealth. Generational wealth being the key, so that your children can learn from the habits, the money habits that you have created yourself. So I hope to see or to speak to some of you guys on the call, and share this video. This has great information in it. It's really the core principles of the coaching program that I'm launching, because when you can get these 3 areas of your finances under control, you have a lot of momentum and power to build long-term generational wealth.